Welcome to Millennium News Hour. I am Tanzeeba Naurin. In today's bulletin, we will present top and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. Trump hush money trial. First 6 jurors have been selected. Supreme Court questions obstruction charges brought against January 6 rioters and Trump. Biden unlikely to cut Iran's oil lifeline after Israel attack. Biden, Iraqi PM agree on talks for US-led coalition withdrawal. Fourth body recovered in Maryland bridge collapse. Biden and his wife report $620,000 income on 2023 tax returns. UN to launch $2.8 billion global appeal for Gaza, West Bank. UN agency finds unexploded 1,000-pound bombs in Gaza schools. India's Chhattisgarh, 29 Maoist rebels killed in clash with Indian security forces. Iran closed nuclear facilities in wake of Israel attack, IAEA chief says. Nadal makes comeback from injury at Barcelona Open. And Butler turn powers Rajasthan to record IPL chase of 224. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. 6 jurors have been sworn in for Donald Trump's hush money trial following hours of questioning and a process of elimination. 12 more jurors still need to be picked. This will be your permanent seat for the duration of the trial, Judge Merchant told the jurors as they took their places in the jury box. The jurors stood up and all raised their right hands. The panelists selected are an IT worker, an English teacher, an oncology nurse, a sales professional, a software engineer, and a corporate lawyer. The Supreme Court on Tuesday questioned whether federal prosecutors went too far in bringing obstruction charges against hundreds of participants in the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot, but it wasn't clear how the justices would rule in a case that also could affect the prosecution of former President Donald Trump, who faces the same charge for his efforts to overturn his election loss in 2020. The justices heard arguments over the charge of obstruction of an official proceeding in the case of Joseph Fisher, a former Pennsylvania police officer who has been indicted for his role in disrupting Congress' certification of Joe Biden's 2020 presidential election victory over Trump. Fisher is one of 330 people facing that charge, which stems from a law passed in the aftermath of the Enron financial scandal more than 2 decades ago to deal with the destruction of documents. Trump is facing 2 charges in a separate case brought by special counsel Jack Smith in Washington that could be knocked out with a favorable ruling from the nation's highest court. Next week, the justices will hear arguments over whether the former president and presumptive nominee for the 2024 Republican nomination has absolute immunity from prosecution in that case, a proposition that has so far been rejected by 2 lower courts. Iran's unprecedented missile and drone strike on Israel is unlikely to prompt dramatic sanctions action on Iran's oil exports from the Biden administration due to worries about boosting oil prices and angering top buyer China, said analysts. Shortly after Tehran launched its weekend attack, retaliation for Israel's suspected April 1 strike on the Iranian consulate in Damascus, House Republican leaders accused President Joe Biden of failing to enforce existing measures and said they would take up this week a series of bills to sharpen sanctions on Iran. Speaking to Fox News on Sunday, Representative Steve Scalise, the number 2 House Republican, said the administration had made it easier for Iran to sell its oil, generating revenues that were being used to fund terrorist activity. The political pressure to punish Iran creates a thorny problem for the administration. How to deter such attacks in future without escalating regional tensions, raising oil prices, or antagonizing China, the biggest buyer of Iranian oil. Washington has said for months that among its primary goals is to keep the Gaza conflict between Palestinian group Hamas and Israel from metastasizing into a wider regional war, with the key aim of keeping Tehran on the sidelines. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. President Joe Biden and Iraq's Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani said Monday they would keep working towards the withdrawal of a US-led anti-jihadist coalition in the country. Their meeting at the White House came amid soaring tensions in the Middle East after Iraq's neighbor Iran launched a massive aerial attack on US ally Israel over the weekend. The US-led military coalition was formed in 2014 to fight the Islamic State group the year the jihadists overran nearly a third of Iraq's territory and swaths of neighboring Syria. Iraq has been trying to stay out of regional tensions amid the 6-month war waged by Israel against Iran-backed Palestinian group Hamas in Gaza, following Hamas's October 7 attack on Israel. The body of a 4th victim in the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore last month has been recovered, officials said Monday. The body was discovered trapped inside a construction vehicle, according to the Unified Command Group in charge of recovery. Authorities did not release the person's identity at the request of family. Baltimore Mayor Brandon M. Scott lauded the teams and agencies that assisted in recovering the victim in a statement. He said his government will continue to do everything it can to help the victims' families persevere through this unthinkable tragedy. I am grateful for the work of the salvage teams for their effort to recover the fourth victim as well as the MD State Police, MD Transit Authority Police and the FBI who responded to help bring closure for this family, he said. Our hearts continue to break for the loved ones of these victims, Scott continued. Our entire city remains with them, joining them in mourning and in healing now that one more of their loved ones has been brought home. For those still waiting, we join them in their hope and grief that they will have the same closure soon. The body of a third victim, Maynor Yasir Suazo Sandoval, 38, was recovered earlier this month. President Joe Biden and his wife Jill on Monday released tax returns showing that their income rose 7% to $619,976 in 2023 and that the couple paid 23.7% of their income in federal taxes. Biden released the data on the day U.S. taxes for the prior year are due, and as the Democrats seek re-election in 2024, Donald Trump, his Republican opponent, broke with the tradition of presidents making their federal tax returns public, saying he was not able to do so while being audited by the Internal Revenue Service, even as the agency claimed he was free to release them. A House committee controlled in 2022 by Democrats released Trump's redacted returns for 2015 through 2020 over the former president's objections. Trump was in a New York courtroom on Monday for a historic criminal trial, one of several legal matters that has implicated the ex-president's personal finances. President Biden believes that all occupants of the Oval Office should be open and honest with the American people, and that the long-standing tradition of annually releasing presidential tax returns should continue unbroken, the White House said in a statement. Trump's campaign did not immediately respond to a request for comment. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for global updates. The United Nations on Wednesday will launch a $2.8 billion appeal for donations this year to help the war-ravaged population of the Gaza Strip as well as West Bank Palestinians, a senior agency official said. The flash appeal addresses humanitarian funding needs through the end of 2024, according to Andrea De Domenico, head of the Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs in the Palestinian Territories. with the entire humanitarian community, we will appeal for $2.8 billion to support the 3 million people identified across the West Bank and Gaza, he said Tuesday in a video press conference. Of course, 90% of it is for Gaza, De Domenico added. He noted that the original request was for $4 billion, but considering the limited ability to deliver aid and the space that we have to do so, we have really focused on the highest priority. Days after the unprecedented Israeli offensive in Gaza on October 7, the United Nations launched an initial emergency appeal for $294 million. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees said Tuesday it had found unexploded 1,000-pound bombs inside schools after Israel pulled troops out of southern Gaza's main city, Khan Yunis. The Israeli army has carried out relentless airstrikes and bombardments in Gaza since Hamas militants attacked Israel on October 7. UN agencies led an assessment mission in Khan Yunis after Israeli forces withdrew from the embattled city last week. UNRWA said it found significant challenges in operating safely due to the presence of unexploded ordnance, including 1,000-pound bombs inside schools and on roads. Thousands of internally displaced persons require a range of life-saving assistance, including health, water, and sanitation and food, it said. Earlier this month, the United Nations said it would take millions of dollars and many years to decontaminate the strip from unexploded munitions. Indian security forces killed at least 29 Maoist rebels in a gun battle in the central state of Chhattisgarh on Tuesday, police said, days before the start of elections in which Prime Minister Narendra Modi is seeking a third straight term. Kankar district, where the clash occurred, will vote in the second of 7 phases in the elections on April 26, while neighboring Bastar, a Maoist stronghold, votes in the first phase on Friday. The rebels, who ascribe to a form of communism propagated by late Chinese leader Mao Zedong, have waged a guerrilla-style struggle against the government, especially in central and eastern India, for decades, leading to periodic clashes and casualties on both sides. Police officials said they received a tip-off about the presence of Maoists in the area on Tuesday and launched a raid that led to the gun battle, which also injured 3 members of the security forces. After the encounter, during the search of the area, bodies of 29 Maoists were recovered, police said in a statement, adding that several weapons and ammunition were also seized from the location. Maoists say they are fighting to give poor Indian farmers and landless laborers more control over their land and a greater claim to its minerals currently exploited by major mining companies. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. Iran temporarily closed its nuclear facilities over security considerations in the wake of its massive missile and drone attack on Israel over the weekend, the head of the UN's atomic watchdog said Monday, speaking to journalists on the sidelines of a UN Security Council meeting. International Atomic Energy Agency Chief Rafael Grossi was asked whether he was concerned about the possibility of an Israeli strike on an Iranian nuclear facility in retaliation for the attack. We are always concerned about this possibility. What I can tell you is that our inspectors in Iran were informed by the Iranian government that yesterday all the nuclear facilities that we are inspecting every day would remain closed on security considerations, he said. The facilities were to reopen on Monday, Grossi said, but inspectors would not return until the following day. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 17,413.98. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 92.95 points or 0.53%. Tokyo stock close price is 38,471.20. The Nikkei 225 index is decreased by 761.60 points or 1.94%. Shanghai stock close price is 3007.07. The Shanghai index is decreased by 50.31 points or 1.65%. Hong Kong stock close price is 16,248.97. The Hang Seng index is decreased by 351.49 points or 2.12%. Bombay stock close price is 72,943.68. The Sensex index is decreased by 456.10 points or 0.62%. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. Tennis great Rafael Nadal made his comeback from injury at the Barcelona Open on Tuesday, starting his first round match against Flavio Cobolli. The injury-plagued 22-time Grand Slam winner 37 had not played on the ATP Tour since January at the Brisbane International when he felt a hip problem flare up. Clay court king Nadal, who withdrew from the Australian Open, Doha and Indian Wells, also missed virtually all of the 2023 season injured. Nadal's return a few weeks ahead of the French Open raises hopes the Spaniard will be able to compete in Paris, where he is a record 14-time winner. His clash with Cobolli on Catalan clay in his first on the surface since his 2022 victory at Roland Garros. Playing on the center court named in his honor, Nadal said Monday that making his return in Barcelona was a gift and that he wanted to enjoy what he expects will be his final year as a professional. Josh Butler smashed an unbeaten 107 to trump Sunil Narain's first T20 century as Rajasthan Royals pulled off a joint record IPL chase against Kolkata Knight Riders of the final ball on Tuesday. Chasing 224 for victory, Rajasthan looked in trouble at 121 for 6 in the 13th over, but Butler moved through the gears in his 60-ball blitz to achieve the target with 2 wickets to spare at Kolkata's Eden Gardens. Rajasthan equaled their own record from 2020 when they chased down 224 against Kings 11 Punjab in Sharjah. Butler, who came in as an impact substitute, reached his second ton of the season in 55 balls with a six of Varun Chakravarti at the start of the last over. Butler, struggling with cramp, then played out three dot balls before a two and a single on the final delivery ensured Rajasthan held on to top spot in the table with 6 wins in 7 matches. England's Butler, who hit 9 fours and 6 sixes, moved ahead of Chris Gayle with 7 IPL tons and is only behind Virat Kohli's 8 in the T20 tournament. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Trump hush money trial. First 6 jurors have been selected. Supreme Court questions obstruction charges brought against January 6 rioters and Trump. Biden unlikely to cut Iran's oil lifeline after Israel attack. Biden, Iraqi PM agree on talks for US-led coalition withdrawal. Fourth body recovered in Maryland bridge collapse. Biden and his wife report $620,000 income on 2023 tax returns. UN to launch $2.8 billion global appeal for Gaza, West Bank. UN agency finds unexploded 1,000-pound bombs in Gaza schools. India's Chhattisgarh, 29 Maoist rebels killed in clash with Indian security forces. Iran closed nuclear facilities in wake of Israel attack, IAEA chief says. Nadal makes comeback from injury at Barcelona Open. And Butler powers Rajasthan to record IPL chase of 224. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our website. Our website address is www.millenniumnews24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.